I've met many of you over the years, and some of you I've had the pleasure of working with, Diane.
Yes,
and
it was pleasurable.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So my name is John Bartlow, and I serve as the Director of Alumni and Constituent Relations. So good to see your faces today, and thank you for taking some time out of your Sunday afternoon to visit with us. We are incredibly lucky to work with a couple of great folks named Larry Kopke and Paula Axman and Please Go Away Vacations. And Diane, did we work with Please Go Away when you were in the office? Was that?
You know, I don't think so. Okay. I don't remember doing any of these programs. Okay. So, but John, that's been a long time ago.
Yeah. Larry and Paula, Diane worked here in the alumni office when I first came back to Pitt in 2005. So 15, 16 years ago. So quite a history there. But I know we've worked with Larry and Paula for many years. I'm sure they can tell us exactly how long it's been. But the thing that I appreciate the most about them is I cannot imagine any travel company giving you any more personalized service than they do. I mean, it is over the top, outstanding. And so very appreciative of that. We feel like we've got a great working relationship with them. And I knew very little about travel companies when I came into this position 7 years ago. And after a conversation with Larry, I was convinced that whoever had made the decision to sign on with them made a great decision. And so I've learned a lot from Larry and Paula over the years. And so they're here today to share a little bit with us about the future of travel. And obviously we're coming through a pandemic, and I think we can see some light at the end of the tunnel. Certainly how I feel. But, you know, it's still a different world than it was a year or so ago. And Larry and Paul are here today to talk to us a little bit about not only what they do and what they have to offer, but about the future of travel and safety precautions and things like that. Many of these trips that they book, individuals book months and months or even years in advance. And so they're going to talk a little bit about that as well. So I will go ahead and turn it over to Larry and Paula. And I'm going to go through and mute everybody just so we don't have any background noise during the conversation. And if you have questions, we want you to feel free to ask. There's a chat mechanism. As you know, you can enter questions in there, and then I'm happy to ask those of Larry and Paula as well. So let us know what we can do. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Larry and Paula.
Thank you, John, and thank you all for your time this afternoon. We very much appreciate the opportunity to share some of the new information, and it's changing frequently, and talk a little bit about what you should or should not be doing at this time. So our travel show that we're presenting is Taste of Tomorrow's Travels. And I say tomorrow's travels because we are not going to sit here and tell you that you should be traveling right away. What we'd like to do is to present information and tell you the truths, because not everything you hear in the media is 100% accurate, and let you determine what's right for you when it's time to travel. When it's right for me may not be the same as what it's right for Larry or perhaps you at home. We do have people that are getting back into traveling, and we were talking a little bit when we came this afternoon about it was good to know that we have some people that left this past week to do a river cruise in the U.S. It's been a while since we've had people travel, and 2 days later, still in this past week, we had people that left on a 10-day Amtrak vacation. They went to Chicago, boarded the train, are headed to Seattle. They'll go down to California. They spend 2 nights in each of those destinations and then travel back to Chicago. Coming up next week, we have additional people that will be leaving to do a Colette tour to San Antonio. They had reserved earlier and it was canceled. They wanted to rebook on the very next thing that was scheduled, and they are so excited to be getting finally to do their trips. In the news, we've read quite a bit about some of the things that are coming up being so heavily booked. So you need to remember that Alaska is a really good example of something that was canceled in 20. Much of it was canceled again in 21. So if you're thinking about perhaps trying to do an Alaska cruise or cruise tour for 22, those things are really booking up. So those are things that you're looking with a short season of traveling to Alaska and 3 years of people going, trying to get bunched up into that year. So those are some things that you do need to be thinking about. We'd like to thank John and his team members for working with us. We had worked with the prior alumni director, so we've been working with you, I would guess, Larry, for about 12.
I'd agree. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we very much appreciate that opportunity and look forward to meeting more of you people in live shows as we get down the road and it's safe to do that. So let me introduce you to our team members. This is Hannah Lori Pitts, and she is a retired district judge in Barton County and has, like I said, she's retired and she wanted something to do. She likes a challenge, has a love for travel. She was born and raised in Germany, and if you ever meet her or happen to call her office and she would answer the phone, you'll immediately know that it's her because she does still have the German sound in her voice, so you can definitely tell that. She has a love of travel, and we're just delighted that she's a member of our team. Another team member that we have is Mary Rickey, and Mary is our group development manager. She goes out and contacts groups and tells them how we can benefit them or what we can do with them. And a little history with Mary is she is also retired from her job that she had had for many years. And Mary and I started kindergarten together and went all through school together. So I've known her for quite a few years. That's me, and I will start my 32nd year with Cheyenne Travel Please Go Away Vacations on May the 1st. So that'll date me a little. I've been around a while. And Larry Cockney is here with me today, and Larry's been with Cheyenne Travel Please Go Away Vacations since 1972. And some of you may have traveled with one of us or both of us over the years, so you can kind of put a face with us if you call. We've been in business this is our 56th year, since 1966. And one of the truisms that we have in our business is travels are memories made and shared that are never forgotten. That's been very evident with all the canceled trips and the demand that people are just really anxious to get back out and travel. You make some of the most wonderful friends, and we have people who have traveled and made acquaintances on trips who have become really good friends over the years, and even some ladies that have met and then ended up being roommates and continuing to travel together for many, many years after. We want to talk a little bit about the 4 essential building blocks of travel. And these are the things that we're going to discuss and how you can use these to plan when it's right for you to travel successfully as we move into the future. So the first one is learn now. So you need to learn what's available and how you can plan accordingly. So it is time to plan. We've talked about the pent-up demand. So it is time to move forward and plan so that you can travel where it's safe and you want to be sure and travel when it's safe. And all of those are the things that we're going to be covering today as we talk. So with those in mind, it's important to know the special benefits and savings that are present in the university's travel program that are available on all programs that are going to be discussed today. These benefits and savings extend to every member of your travel party, even if they do not have a university affiliation of any type or live in another part of the country. So always feel confident that you can bring your friends with you. These benefits and savings are available to all community members, friends, graduates, students, employees, etc. of the university. A new program that we have adopted during the last year, and our staff spent quite a bit of time training and getting on top of using this new program, and in kind of a dark, dreary year, it was something that really excited our staff, and it's called Book with Confidence. This is a program that we have access to for up-to-the-minute travel safety and protocol requirements of any worldwide destination, and that's provided here personally by Please Go Away Vacations. Here's one that we worked up that was very interesting. We had, would have been our first travelers as we moved into 2021. A couple went to Jamaica for 2 weeks. And I will mention that everything is changing so quickly in this day and age with everything that's going on with COVID, that this was prepared not once, but 3 times, because we would have it ready for them, and before they could even get in here to pick the information up, it would change. This is a checklist so that we can provide that to people to try to help you, first of all, feel safe of what's being done. They were flying on Delta Airlines, and so we were able to tell them that there was special cleaning. They would have to have masks in the airport, as well as on the flights, and they were using some transfers getting from the airport to their resort when they got to Jamaica. So we checked out everything and could tell them of the extra cleaning. They weren't going to be sharing the transfers like often is common. And then they used 2 different properties. And Jamaica's a little tricky because you have to stay at a property that is rated as a resilient corridor. So some of the little rinky-dink cheap resorts that might be out there did not qualify because their safety protocols, their cleanliness did not meet the requirements that Jamaica had. And then, of course, before they left, the rules changed as well, and they had to be tested before they could return home back to the United States. And so all of this information is put into a little booklet that's presented to them prior to their departure, and then again closer if things changed up until that point. Today's travel backdoors are very important, and some of the things that we want to talk about are the pent-up travel demand, and kind of like this ball, it's ready to burst. So we want to talk about how to use this pent-up demand to your advantage going forward. There are some reasons to act now. There's outstanding travel savings. So we're going to talk about how to capture those now so that you can use those later. Some more reasons that you may want to act now are on all of the feature programs that we're going to talk about today. Coming up shortly is we're going to accept reservations for those of you in attendance of 50% reduced deposits. So as an example, if it's normally $1,000 per person deposit, you'll be able to reserve for $500 per person. Some of the tours as we go through for 22, there's going to be a little icon, and it'll be called a PIUP, P-Y-I-P. And if it's a PIUP and we're holding the group space and we're waiting on the finalized contract, we allow you to put yourself in position to have first right of refusal with only $100 per person deposit. Also, for reservations that are received by the end of April, so by end of day on Friday, April 30th, each person will receive a $10 Applebee's gift card as an extra thank you for your reservations. A benefit with Please Go Away Vacations is that we have a friendship bonus plan. So if you have friends or family join you who have not previously traveled with us on one of our programs, you can get your choice at the completion of their travel of either a 1% cash refund or a 2% future travel credit. So let's talk about some of the ways that we can assist you with your travels. And Larry, would you like to share some of this information with everyone?
Oh, I'd be delighted to. And hello, everybody. We appreciate your time, and we want to say thank you for the time. Actually, here in Please Go Away Vacations, we operate under two pillars of travel. The first one is As You Like It travel. And just as the name implies, you travel as you like, when you like, where you like, with whom you like. We find people sometimes have a bit of hesitancy to be part of a personally escorted group. But let me say that anything you see advertised anywhere or in any format, if it is of quality and value, we have that program right here in our office at the same and quite often better price than you will find anywhere else. So this is something that benefits you because you are assured of getting the very best price on availability and benefits that may exist on these programs. To give you an overview of just a few of the components of As You Like It travel, every quality travel program or cruise experience you see advertised anywhere is available to you here in our offices at the same, or as I mentioned earlier, quite better price than you could find anywhere else. We do not discount the price. We negotiate on your behalf at no extra cost to you. You do not pay us for our professional services. We are paid a commission by the travel company or cruise line. Additionally, and that's particularly true in this day and age as travel is giving itself a rebirth, there are a lot of special benefits and programs and incentives and discounts that these various companies are making available on their programs to get the travel people kick-started again and to put themselves into position so that any available promotion that you see, or maybe you're a past traveler with a particular cruise line or travel company and they come out with some special perks for past travelers, all of those are available for you right here in our offices, and they are all captured for your benefit. That's As You Like It travel. And as I mentioned, anything that you see advertised anywhere is available. Let's just quickly run through some of the logos of the major companies. I'm not going to read them off. We'll just go through, but you will recognize these as the leaders of the travel and cruise industry of the world. These are all available for you right here for your consideration, questions right here in this office. And any other quality travel company or cruise line of which you may have knowledge or have an interest, ask us. It would be available here in our office. The second pillar that we operate under is what we call the feature travel. This is a Please Go Away Vacations travel exclusive benefit service and is comprised of the following components. First of all, it's a personally escorted and value-added travel experience throughout the world. We actually take escorted groups to all 7 continents of the world, and each feature travel have special bonus features added. In other words, in addition to what you would normally find advertised in the program. First of all, the price you see is the all-inclusive price. It's not a come-on price where you're going to have to add many hundreds or perhaps even thousands of dollars to your travel plans in order to have a complete experience. It's all included in the one price that you see in the brochure. This includes such things as round-trip airfare, travel protection. I will say that this is very popular. We have a 94+% repeat factor on our featured travel programs. Some travelers have gone away on more than 70 of our personally escorted feature travel experiences throughout the world. We include feature dining bonuses, feature sightseeing bonuses. You have a personal Please Go Away vacation host throughout, and unmatched personal service before, during, and after your travel experiences. In 2021, we're finding that people are really, as Paula has mentioned in her opening remarks, interested in returning to travel. We are seeing, however, that the primary interest is in the United States of America. And so we have compiled and developed what we call the See the USA with Please Go Away program, highlighting various opportunities in our feature programs for experiences here within the United States. And in addition, we do have travel experiences that literally cover the world. Paula will be escorting a group later this year to Africa on a safari, for example. We will be doing additional foreign tours, but the major emphasis going forward, truthfully, for you to consider, I think at least for this latter part of 2021 and first part of 2022, is going to be a concentration in the United States. So let's take a look at some of these feature travel experiences that are existing and upcoming. Personally escorted group tours, one of a kind. You're not going to find exactly the same itinerary or component combination anywhere else. Michigan's Mackinac Island and Grand Hotel and much more. We already have 39 persons reserved on that departure that goes in June. Price is $4,200 per person, double occupancy. Triple occupancy may be available. You can deduct $50 if you are a triple occupancy. If you're single occupants, and we really appreciate having single occupants, there of course is a single supplement charge of $1,200. Another experience, and this is one of our foreign experiences that has a very nice complement of reservations already in place. It's the Trains and Lakes of the Alps, featuring Switzerland and Italy, July 12 through 20 of this year. It's going to be personally escorted by one of our personal hosts. And so we do know that it will include places like Luzerne. You've all seen the bridge that goes over the river there in Luzerne. Of course, some of the major railroads of the Alps are going to be featured. The Alpine scenery will be included, and the northern part of Italy will be also touched at Lake Lago. Going back to the United States, historic Upper Mighty Mississippi River cruise. We're finding that American Queen Steamboat Company is by far the most popular river cruise here in the United States, and it has a number of departures going, and we are happy to say that we have 4 personally escorted feature tours in 2021 and 22 with the American Queen Steamboat Company. The first one is historic Upper Mississippi River cruise. August of this year, starts out in the St. Louis area, travels the Great River Road, departs from Alton, Illinois, actually, which is just north of St. Louis. Alton, Illinois is a very historic community and is the site of the last Lincoln-Douglas debate, and you have your choice of onboard accommodations. I mentioned that Paula would be escorting a personal safari in Africa. It's in September of this year. We still could take several more reservations, but we do not want this to be a large group. The reasons being is that we limit the size of capacity to only no more than 6 travelers in a van, so that everyone has access to a window and pop-up viewing for the magnificent picture opportunities that are available. You see here on this map what we will be seeing and doing, and you see highlighted in red the Serengeti National Park. Now, the reason that we have the Serengeti National Park highlighted and why we're going at this particular time of year is because this is the time of the Great Migration, where you see the animals traveling thousands in a herd at a time, continuous reservations and going forward. You can see here the wildebeest crossing the river. I'm sure many of you have seen this on nature television or something like this. The crocodiles obviously are wading in the water to try to capture them. I mentioned that we limit the size of the group. This is the type of safari vehicle we will be in, lower left-hand corner. You can see the pop-up top there that we want everyone to have access to. Some of the lesser known companies or ones that maybe appear to be saving you several dollars will actually load that same vehicle with 9 or 10 individuals. And can you imagine the problems you would have if you would actually, in fact, be on the inside? Another feature that is very popular over the years is that we include a hot air balloon safari. And this is always over the Serengeti sunrise. And it gives you an opportunity to see, and I need to say here, what's going on among the wildlife. Excuse me. Accommodations, I just want to point out on that last slide, Paula, before we go on, is that the accommodations are not intense or anything like you might expect. They are outstanding accommodations. All meals are included, and it is one that we've done probably 20 times over the past 50-some years. So this is a tremendous experience, and it is one that will be memorable for all time. Another one that's very popular, Sedona's Red Rocks plus USA's Canyon Country, is in October, $4,200 per person. It's a return to nature. The Red Rocks of Sedona, Lake Powell, areas of this nature. And as you can see there, as part of our See the USA with Please Go Away program. And we can always visit with you and answer all your questions. The various cacti of the area will be featured, as will Monument Valley buttes shown in the upper right-hand corner. A neat thing about this is that you actually include and see Sedona's Red Rocks, the Grand Canyon and Lake Powell, the Bryce Canyon and Zion National Park, Monument Valley, or perhaps if you've been there, you can go see Navajo and Antelope Canyons and much more. It's a return to nature, very popular. Our most popular tour over the years for fall is our Leaves, Lighthouses, and Lobsters. We've had individuals take this tour for 4 different times because they enjoy it so much. And the name is just what the title is, and this is what you see: Leaves, Lighthouses, and Lobsters. West Quade Lighthouse at Lubec, Maine, easternmost point in the United States, upper left-hand corner. You actually learn all about capturing lobsters, as you can see depicted in the upper right-hand corner. And the lower 2 slides indicate where we stay the entire time, an entire week, with waterfront balcony rooms at the famous Bar Harbor Inn at Bar Harbor, Maine. We have our own private motor coach that takes us out on daily outings, returning each evening to the accommodations right on the waterfront. This is another Mississippi cruise with American Steamboat Company, and we have, I believe at this time, Paula, 39 reservations on this cruise. Goes in December. My wife and I will be the personal hosts on this. We mentioned that there were certain incentives. This has a $1,000 per person group savings. That's available only through groups. If you were to go online and try to book it yourself or go within an as you like it tour program where you wouldn't be with our group, you would not have that $1,000 savings. Another thing we always have present in our feature travel programs is a no-cost 100% reservation deposit refund guarantee, which is a date certain until which you can cancel for any reason. And that in this instance is August 7th of this year. So the 39 people have that safety value. Choice of accommodations, all dining included, leisurely spaces to relax just as the river floats by, and nightly entertainment in floor show style. It's at a time of the holiday season, bringing forth the Cajun customs of Christmas, and it is going to be a highlight. Starts in Memphis, ends up in New Orleans. And of course, here's another European program that has a nice number of reservations already in place. Again, being personally hosted by our president, Paula. It's going to be the Best of Europe's Christmas markets in December of this year. It's going to be featuring the major Christmas markets of France, Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. And if you've never been to one of those, they are an exceptional travel experience to add to your travel achievements. Lebkuchen, or the gingerbread cookies in the upper left-hand corner, are available in all supermarkets or Christmas markets. The outstanding architecture of the area, Gothenburg, in the upper right-hand corner, is depicted. Oberammergau wood carving in the lower left-hand corner. Oberammergau is a famous place of the World Passion Play every 10 years, coming up in 2022. But when it's not hosting the Passion Play, it does have a multitude of wood carvers present that you can go into the shops and see magnificent wood carvings to bring home. And of course, it's going during the holidays, so we've included some winter activities and snow activities for you to enjoy, as depicted in the lower right-hand corner. Malakalikimaka. This is a Grand Hawaii Christmas and New Year's holiday cruise. We're finding that there are a number of people that don't want to be home during the Christmas and New Year holidays. Maybe their family is away or what other personal reasons they may have. But this is a very popular cruise. It's filled with some benefits, such as a $217 per person shipboard gratuities, your free gratuities, which you ordinarily would pay, a free drink allowance of over $1,000, $149 per person free Wi-Fi usage, and it does have, again, the 100% reservation deposit refund guarantee. It goes out of Los Angeles. You include the islands of Kauai, Oahu, and Maui. Comes back to Ensenada, and again then lands up and concludes in Los Angeles. The prices range from the inside at $5,000 up to $5,900 for a balcony, and there are also maybe many suites and suites that may be available if you're so inclined. 2022 will move quickly because we don't want to take a lot of your time, but again, we're emphasizing See the USA with Please Go Away. Again, with an emphasis of around the world departures as well. So Paula, let's quickly run through these. And Paula mentioned PYIP, P-Y-I-P. We have developed this here as a Please Go Away vacations benefit. It's put yourself in position. For $100 on any tour that does not have final pricing, you can put yourself in position for simply the payment and holding deposit of $100. You are totally protected 100%. It's free and easy to use. There are no obligations. The $100 holding deposit holds your spaces in the order we receive them. You have the first opportunity to review the finalized brochure. If you don't like it, you immediately get a cash refund of your deposit. If acceptable, you finalize your reservation for a reduced deposit amount of 1/2 the normal reservation deposit. It's very popular. It's available on a couple of our tours later at the latter part of 2022, and I will mention those when we get there. But all preliminary brochures on those PYIP programs are available right now for your review. We're going to start out, this is not a PYIP, nor will any of these be PYIPs. These will be future travel programs that are in place with reservations for the most part that will be featuring in 2022. This one in January, Yellowstone's Best in the Winter and More, $3,100 per person. It goes into and out of Salt Lake City. You will be going into the Yellowstone National Park, and going to the National Elk Refuge, spending time in Jackson Hole. It's an amazing way to see Yellowstone that's completely different than the way you would see it during the summertime. Alaska's Northern Lights and the Iditarod, the Great Race. This will be headquartered in Fairbanks and will be in February, latter part of February, first part of March. It's going to be featuring the Northern Lights. Fairbanks is one of the most famous areas in the world for seeing the Northern Lights. And of course, it's also going to be featuring the Iditarod dog race, which is an 1,100-mile dog sled race that starts in the area where you will be staying. And we've included the opportunity for you to actually have a dog sled ride included. You'll see the actual starting of the Iditarod dog race. And of course, subject to the whim of nature, you'll have the opportunity to see Aurora Borealis in all of its Northern Lights glory. The Best of Greece has already a nice number of reservations in place. It's in March, latter part into April. It's going to be including the interior of Greece and what makes Greece such a great destination. Spring in the Smoky Mountains. Excuse me, my nose is giving me a bit of problem today, Paul. Spring in the Smoky Mountains, it's in April. Of course, this features the area that you see here, Kentucky and North Carolina, famous Biltmore Mansion. It's going to be one of our, what we call Motor Coach Plus tours. We do not get on a bus here in Kansas and drive all the way to Kentucky. That is what we think is a waste of time and a waste of money, because you're spending extra time for extra hotel rooms and extra meals. Included in your program is round trip airfare, where you arrive at your major destination within hours instead of days. A private motor coach is waiting there to take you around, and then at the conclusion of experiencing the heart of what you really went to see and experience, you'll fly back home again in a matter of hours instead of 2 or 3 long boring days. France at its best is just that. It's going to be including all of France, starting out in the beaches of Normandy on the English Channel and going all the way down to the south to the area of Nice and Monaco and Monte Carlo on the Mediterranean and all the areas in between. Secrets of South Dakota is another program here in the United States as just that. You'll be seeing and experiencing what makes South Dakota such an interesting experience, and it's a hub and spoke experience. You stay in one hotel during the entire stay and then take daily motor coach trips out to destinations that we want to see and experience. Again, a Motor Coach Plus experience. We fly there, we don't drive there. American's History and Quilts, another one of our river cruises. $1,500 per person, guaranteed special group please go away vacation savings. Makes it a wonderful experience. We have all inclusive sightseeing. Every port of call has included sightseeing, and it's going to have special presenters on quilting. You'll go to the Quilt Museum in Paducah, Kentucky, and it will be experiencing life on the river on other than the Mississippi River. Best of the Pacific Northwest is again American Queen Steamboat Company. It's Columbia and Snake Rivers, traces really the path of Lewis and Clark through that area. It's in July of this coming year, and it's a very popular destination, and it is one that is very popular and does have a $400 per person guaranteed special group savings in place for it. Marvels of the Maritimes, that's going to be in the area of Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island, New Brunswick, the Maritime, Bay of Fundy, the largest tidal changes in the world. Very popular. We're beginning to get a lot of requests for that. That will be going in July of this coming year. Alaska Adventure this coming year, obviously we've not gone in 2020. We're not going to Alaska in 2021 because of COVID, but we will be going back again. And Paula and I were just talking about that. Our group space that we have reserved for this trip is already sold out for 2022. However, we are a preferred partner with Princess Cruises, and we have reason to believe, although we don't have it in black and white contract, that we can add a few more to this if anyone is interested in joining and experiencing Alaska. This is all of Alaska. It will be our 48th year of taking this particular Alaska adventure, which is a combination of land and cruise experience. It's the most popular tour that we have. And as you can see, it's already sold out for next year. We think we can get more spaces. It's actually 3 travel experiences in Alaska in one. Now, if you take an inside passage cruise, you will have a wonderful experience. But I need to tell you that you really do not experience Alaska when you take an inside passage cruise. You actually are in that lower right-hand circle, or semicircle, not semicircle, elongated circle, and you have what we call a thumb's worth of Alaska. It's beautiful, but you really don't experience Alaska. With us, you see 3 distinct separate sections of Alaska. The interior of Alaska in the circle number 1, this is where Mount McKinley is, where the rail car rides are, Fairbanks, Anchorage, Mount Denali, Mount McKinley, all of those things. You don't see those if you don't go into the interior. The second one is the Bay of Alaska, and you see that, and the glaciers in the area, and it is, again, a combination of 3 experiences in one. Reason why it's so popular, I guess, a sellout. Again, if you're interested, contact us quickly. We'll try to get you on. Greenland and Iceland plus Ireland and England. Iceland and Greenland are all of a sudden, the last couple of years, well, without last year being included, have really been a popular destination for people to experience. And so this is going to be where one flies to London, spends a stop in Ireland, and then goes into the various ports of both Iceland and Greenland before returning back to London and flying home. It's in August. It's aboard the Princess Cruises Island Princess cruise ship, and we already have reservations in place on that. Again, Lee's Lighthouses and Lobsters for October of next year, 2022. Now, let me mention here, Paula, before you go on. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see that PIAP logo. This is one of 2 PIAP programs that we have left for 2022. We don't have final pricing on this because, quite honestly, we haven't even operated the 2021 tour yet, but we have this one in place because we have to work this far in advance to contract with the Bar Harbor Inn in order to have rooms available and the type of accommodations on the waterfront with private balconies that we want. So we're holding the contract. We don't have final pricing, but if you're interested, can't go with this year, you can go with this next year. Put down a PIAP deposit of $100. You have right of first refusal. If you don't like it, you get your holding deposit back. If you like it, when we give you the final brochure, you can reserve for 1/2 a normal reservation deposit. The second PIAP and last one that we're going to talk about, we have a couple more sites here on Bar Harbor and the Lee's Lighthouses. Again, just like we saw last year, the lighthouses, the lobsters, and of course the Bar Harbor Inn. And then the last one that I wanted to mention, which is also a PIAP in 2022, is our Santa Fe Red and Green Holiday. Now, red and green, we're talking about 2 things. Red and green chilies of the Southwest, but red and green colors of the holiday season. Again, it's PIAP. We have detailed brochure for you, with the exception of price, the same as is true with Lee's Lighthouse and Lobsters for next year. We stay in only 1 hotel, but you will have the opportunity to put yourself in position with a PIAP of $100 if this is of interest to you. Now, we would mention to you that everything that we've discussed in the way of featured tours, we have detailed brochures that we can make available to you if you so desire. They are normally 4 pages in length. They are color highlighted. They are fully descriptive, and they include everything that makes them all-inclusive feature programs for you to see and review. So, Paul, I think that's a very quick overview of 21 and 22 feature programs.
Okay, thank you, Larry. So John, I think that questions would come to you. So if you want to ask both of us, we'll do our best to answer.
Trying to figure out how to get myself unmuted here. So many buttons. I did not have any questions that came through, but that doesn't mean that there aren't questions. Sometimes people just like to ask them in person. So are there any of you who are on the call right now who have any questions that you would like to ask? Well, we've got a couple of travel experts on the line. Any questions at all? And you're all muted right now, so you'd have to unmute.
I put my questions in the chat. Can you see them?
Oh, yes, it just came through. Okay. So the question is, what area in Florida would you recommend with a beach area? And do you book houses for larger parties?
Paul, I'm going to let you answer that because that's right down your alley.
Okay. Yes, we have been looking, like the VRBO and, I forget the name of the other one, but, Airbnb. We have been booking those for large families. In most cases, we do charge a small service fee because the way we get paid is normally from the companies, and those do not necessarily pay travel agents, and so there is a small fee that we add on. In Florida, it kind of depends on where you want to go, what time of year you're going. Some of the most beautiful beaches, I think, are like the Fort Walton Beach area. If you're wanting to go on to more of the southern parts, Tampa, St. Pete Beach, and some of those, we have some areas that people seem to really enjoy.
Okay. Some more questions have come in. One of them is, what kinds of safety issues have you experienced? And I'm not sure if this is safety regarding COVID-19 or in general COVID-19, Belinda. Okay.
So I think probably both of us will want to say something about this. First of all, Paula highlighted for you our book with confidence. We don't want you to have any possible problems, and we'll do everything we can to avoid it. And the way we do that is by keeping you informed. Truthfully, I can say that everyone that we have had traveling have not encountered any safety concerns, because the companies we use and the places where you place people to stay in resorts have protocols and safety procedures in place that have not required them to be encountering any concerns. And Paula, on that point, why don't you take a second and explain the resorts that we work with, that should a problem arise where they needed to be quarantined, before they could return home, how that's handled, and why we choose to use the companies and resorts and hotels that we do.
Okay. Thus far, for people who did make the determination that they were okay with traveling, we have used the properties, the Rio properties, Iberostars, but some of the major chains were offering, if you stayed at their properties, they provided free COVID testing that's required now to return to the US. Now, it's my understanding that those were to end the end of March, the free testing, and I don't know whether or not that has been extended. And then as well, they all have, in addition to the free testing, if you test positive and you're required to stay, some of the main chains are providing free accommodations. There's even a Balmar resort chain that not only were they providing 2 weeks of free accommodations, they were upgrading to like private suites and really taking care of people that would be testing positive. To kind of extend the safety issue a little bit, I also want to mention that the state government, state.gov website has all the different countries and is a wonderful source if you're trying to decide whether or not you want to go to Jamaica or Cancun or someplace out of the country. Every country has a alert level from 1 to 4. 4 is do not travel. And if it's not safe for political reasons or COVID or any of the other things that pop up in the world of travel, State Department shuts it down and you're not allowed to go there. A level 3 is reconsider. 2 is to exercise extreme caution, and 1 is pretty much that it's safe to go. But there's a lot of different things out there that can make it a little easier to determine whether or not you feel it's safe for you to go.
Excellent. Okay, a few more questions, which is good. That's why we're here, right? Do you have any train trips through the Canadian Rockies?
Yes and no. We have, there's a really new one that has come out, and it's with the Rocky Mountaineer. Now, this would be in the division of As You Like It that Larry mentioned, where you choose when you're going. We did attempt to get group space, and we're looking at doing that in the future, but that's been real popular, and we have quite a few people reserved, not as a group per se, but going on their own, and one that we would highly recommend.
Great. Another one related to trains. What types of train trips, like out of Kansas City to the West Coast, do you deal with?
Amtrak, and you can do 2 ways with Amtrak. If you're just looking at a train travel, we do book train tickets on Amtrak going west to California, and you can make connections and go north or south. Also, there is Amtrak Vacations, which I kind of mentioned early on in the program. Some people that are traveling right now, it's a preset package, and they get on, they travel, get off and sleep 2 nights in accommodations in Seattle, and then they travel south, spend 2 nights in San Francisco, and then return to Chicago. And the entire round trip is like 10 nights. So we do work with both of those ways of travel.
Okay. Let's see. This one's about Mackinac Island. Are there still double occupancies available for Michigan's Mackinac Island for June this year?
I believe so, yes. We actually added a couple of people within the last week and a half. So I wouldn't wait too long, but currently I do think we could still add 2 people.
Okay. And some of you have asked about follow-up and contact information. Tomorrow we will send you an email with Larry and Paula's contact information. So it's right there for you. And lots of other information. So don't doubt that you'll have any trouble getting a hold of them after this meeting today.
And John, can I make a comment on that? We do want
Sure.
to ask questions. There's only one silly question that has ever existed. And that's the question that someone has that they're not asking. Because in some respects, it's silly that it's not being asked. We prefer to have as many questions asked at any time so that we have the opportunity to give you a personal, prompt answer to your concerns. And we, contact us via email if you want to call us on the toll-free number, which you're going to provide, I'm sure. We can assure you that you will never talk to a machine. You'll never be directed to voicemail. You'll always talk to one of our travel advisors that will personally answer your questions. So don't hesitate to ask questions.
Okay. It doesn't look like any more questions have come through on the chat at the moment. What else? Do you have anything else, Paula or Larry? Oh, prizes, of course.
Don't want to forget the prizes. So if we give you the name of, like, I'll give a prize and you draw out your winner.
I can do that. I already drew some names while you all were presenting. So
Perfect. What we're going to do first is we're going to do the one with the most value so that everybody has equal opportunity to win. And so the $100 Please Go Away gift card that's good on any of our feature tours.
Diane James.
Okay. And then the next one we'll do, let's do the magic coin, and it's a 50-cent piece. And if you use it per the terms and conditions, it can multiply in value 100 times and be worth $50.
And Charlene Burnett.
Okay.
And we will get these things in the mail to you. All right. So we'll get that to you.
And the third prize we have is a $50 Princess Cruises gift card, which obviously is good on any Princess Cruise that's booked through our office.
And that goes to Janine and Albert Marone.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Oh, I missed one, sorry. Converter and adapter set, which are very handy if you're looking at going out of the US.
Yes. And that goes to Steve McCrae.
Okay. And then we're going to have a Princess Booty bag, and it's a bag with several odds and ends of things that our contact with Princess Cruises has provided to us to give away.
That goes to Belinda Brumfeld.
Okay. And we have the same thing with Colette, a little bag of goodies.
Yes. And that goes to Denise Elder.
And a luggage scale, which most everybody probably knows, but when you travel on airplanes, your suitcase can't weigh more than 50 pounds. So I need 49 pounds when I travel. And if I shop at all, I need to have a scale to come home.
Yes. And that is going to Mark Pierce.
And then the Applebee's gift cards are for everybody, again, as long as they reserve on one of the feature tours that we looked at, be it a tie-up or one that's already in place. And let us know by 5 p.m. on April the 30th that they are sending a deposit. Then with their final documents, they'll get a Applebee's gift card per person.
Super. Wonderful. And I've got a few PSU things to give away. So let's see here. Scott and Julie Baders, you guys are getting a PSU blanket. Very nice fleece blanket that we will get in the mail to you guys. Let's see, Dan Redmond.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Dan Redmond, we've got a PSU umbrella coming your way, sir. Dave White, we have a PSU cooler coming your way. So, and I think if my calculations are correct, everybody got something. So if somehow I left you out.
Just the new guy,
Speak now.
Steve McRae.
Steve, did I see? That's why I went.
I think
Steve, I put you down. Steve, I had you down for the electrical conversion kit for traveling overseas.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome, sir. All right.
So you want to do this? Okay. So just to kind of summarize what we've talked about, the 4 essential building blocks of travel. We hope that you've learned a few things now so that you can plan now. Travel where it's safe, and there are ways to do that, knowing that it is safe to go there, whether there's quarantines involved and all those kinds of things. It's important to always be aware of the back doors and travel when it's safe. And the when is going to be different for all of us. So you need to determine, ask questions, let us know how we can help you to decide when it is safe for you to travel.
All right. Well, Larry and Paula, thank you for your time. And I've got to tell you all a very, very brief story. But when I started in this position and I found out that, we were working with a travel company, and I had booked many vacations myself and done many things on my own over the years, not trips to the extent of what Larry and Paula do though. And I have to admit, when I went in and had a meeting with Larry, I was skeptical about why would someone need a travel agent? Why would you not just do it yourself? And he very quickly convinced me about the amazing skill set and connections that they have. I mean, think about this, friends, 50 plus years of making connections and experience. And, travel is stressful, and making connections and making reservations is stressful. And I'm just, I haven't been in a position to take a big trip anytime recently, but I can tell you this, when I do, I know who I'm going to talk to. And I truly mean that, because I was very, very skeptical about why someone would need this sort of service. But I am no longer that way. So if you are considering doing any sort of travel, I would highly, highly encourage you guys to give them a call. As I said, we'll send out a follow-up email tomorrow with lots of information. We also recorded this, and I know some of you, due to scheduling conflicts, logged on late. We'll send you a link so you can see what this presentation was all about. And certainly, if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to my office, and we will put you in touch with the experts who are Larry and Paula and their staff.
And thank you very much. And I want to say too, thank you for your comments on travel agents. And I'd like to publicly thank, we had an amazing team this past year, and a lot of people, even my friends, had the idea that, nobody's traveling, there's nothing going on. So you really, didn't have that much to do. We worked harder this past year servicing. We have literally multiple hundreds of people scheduled to go on trips in 2020 and continuing for the first part of 21 that were canceled. So we took that very seriously, and, getting refunds for people and getting the best possible scenario based upon what travel company they were with, whether it was future cruise credits, travel credits, but refunds whenever possible. So we do think that a lot of people are looking at travel advisors a little bit different than they used to.
And then just let me say one thing too. I want to add my thanks. And you can see here that we started out saying that we were going to do tastes of tomorrow's travel. We'd like to end on a sweet taste perhaps. So when John provides us with a mailing address for you, we will mail to everybody in attendance today a Dairy Queen gift card, compliments of Please Go Away Vacations with our thank you. And when you enjoy that Sunday, please go away.
Very good. Everyone, thank you for your time. Hopefully next year we can do something like this in person, but it's certainly better to be able to meet virtually like this than to not be able to meet at all. So once again, thank you. Thanks again to Larry and Paula. And if you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to reach out to our office. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful Sunday, and don't forget, once a gorilla, always a gorilla.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Everybody
you.
take care. We'll be in touch, Larry and Paula.
Thank you,
Excellent.
John.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.